Hello and welcome to today's vlog. I'm Charlotte and this is my mum Elaine. I am an amateur show rider who has previously qualified for Royal International and the London International Horse Show, and this year I have got dreams of Horse of the Year show, which is fairly slim.
That is a big dream.
That's a big dream. And taking Donny to London International because it was Finley who went to London International before. So today we are going to be talking about training for your horse show, what you want to do, having some goals and how you can try to achieve them. So whether this is your first season ever doing any showing or you are a county show rider looking to improve, this is the time of year where I think the sun's just come out. We're all excited because all the shows are coming out as well, and we're starting to really plan together on what we need to work on to get this perfect show horse for the season. So to start off with, Mum's going to pick a random class. I'm going to give her the whiteboard, unaffiliated level, and we're going to talk about how you would train for that class in particular. What are you going to choose?
In hand.
You're not going to put it in the bubble?
Oh yeah. I'll do it like that. In hand. Coloured.
Plaited or just
any, because it could be with, when you do an unaffiliated show, they tend to put you all in one group.
So Mum's chosen an unaffiliated in-hand coloured class. So training for that, a lot of people think because it's in hand you can just drag your horse out and off you go, but that really isn't how it works. So I used to have a miniature horse that was coloured, and even though obviously I couldn't ride him because he was only 10 hands, we did a few things every week to try and build both his muscular, his fitness, his manners, the whole package. So to start off with, I'd definitely say groundwork, whether that's once a week, twice a week. I wanted to get my ponies in hand to learn to stand square without me pushing and pulling them, because when you do a lot of in-hand showing, you want it looks nice, you come out, boom, your horse is stood square, makes it life a lot easier. So whether that be you can use stuff like natural horsemanship and Pirelli, whatever works for you. I used to have a crisp packet, can you remember? And I taught him that every time I rustled the crisp packet, stand square, and he used to put all his little legs out, and then he got a treat basically. Until we got to the point where I didn't need to wrestle the packet, because as soon as I went to stand him in front of the judge, he just went ding. So yeah, definitely doing some sort of groundwork in the school every week. Another one that I used a lot was long reining, and you can either long rein on a hack, over poles, or in the school. And I used to take Spirit, my little coloured. I'll insert a photo actually here. So Spirit, my little coloured miniature, I used to take him out running once or twice a week to build up his muscles and his frame and get him looking as good as like a ridden horse. But
good fitness for yourself.
And good fitness for yourself. So whether that be on the long rein or you can start off in hand and mix it up. And yeah, doing poles in the school, because Spirit had he was a stallion, he had quite a lovely big front, didn't he, but his back end let him down, so we did quite a lot of pole work in the school. And
hills if you've got any.
Yeah, we unfortunately in Norfolk we do not have any hills.
Well, a little
a slope of the road.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I was practicing for an in-hand coloured class, also make sure you train both in a field and in a menage, because it's very different running around in a field. It's more exciting, isn't it?
Well, it is, because you'll probably break your ankle if you're not careful over a big lump.
Yeah, definitely doing
so be
both.
Careful.
And then if you know what speed you're going at, you also know what footwear to wear, won't you?
Yeah.
Because I knew with Spirit, obviously he was a miniature, I didn't really need to have...
Your foot, it didn't really matter too much.
I didn't really need to have football boots or anything like that. As if you've got like something quite quick or it's muddy, you might want to think a bit more about your footwear.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what for in-hand colours I'd practice: groundwork, long reining, poles in both a menage environment and a field environment. And if you went to a few shows and say he was spooky at something, I would then come home and like, can you remember when we went to London International with Finley? I knew it was going to be in an indoor arena, and Finley's quite lucky at banners and stuff like that and lights, and we got to see like the ring format, so we made sure we put fairy lights up, banners up, music, so it was already like he'd already seen it all. So they're just a few tips. Do you want to do another one? We'll rub those out. There we go. If you would like to screenshot, you can choose the next one, whether it be in hand. We'll stick with unaffiliated for now, and then we'll move on.
Okay, so I've got to choose another class.
Another class in the bubble, and if an unaffiliated level.
Okay. Well,
what do you feel like? So for the next one, Mum has picked unaffiliated M&M small and large breeds ridden. So you're aiming for just an unaffiliated, maybe it's an Equifest qualifier or an ESUK qualifier, something like that. Okay, so for the M&Ms, there's no ride judge, first of all, at unaffiliated or affiliated level. So definitely, I'd say the first point of call would be to practice your schooling. You want a horse that's mannerly, your transitions need to be smooth. Yeah, it's like dressage. I always say, when people say what is showing, I say it's like dressage meets toddlers and tiaras. So yeah, getting your horse soft, supple, balanced, work on your transitions, just general schooling is definitely a number one for me. And I'd also, if you're on a livery yard, practice schooling with another horse, because some horses don't like lots of horses coming past them or coming up behind them. And I definitely think in the classes like M&M, the riders are a bit more wild, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, there's sometimes you've got children in there and adults.
You might have a Shetland going round with a...
And some of the younger children do struggle sort of like sometimes to sort of like keep
the pony
together,
going,
because
or
you've got an adult or some teenager come flying by and they're not perhaps so confident, and it's scary.
I mean, you don't want to be overtaken and stuff like that if you can help it, but they will be. Unaffiliated is always it's carnage, isn't it? Because it's people who don't know, especially in like the novice sections. So yeah, if I would definitely say practice, if you can find someone on your yard to ride past you, get close to you, get in the way, that's quite good, because there's nothing worse than riding a horse that doesn't like other horses coming past, because it puts you on edge. It's scary. And you don't want to be trapped between the boards, if the arena outside, and some little kid on the inside of you. It's not a very nice feeling. So definitely schooling, and schooling with another horse. Another thing would be, again, riding in the field, because a lot of these unaffiliated shows are on grass, and you don't have the fence line as such to support you. So riding in the field is good as well, and also you get to a good feel of how your horse feels on different terrain. For example, Finley is much nicer on grass, isn't he? He just perks up and goes, ooh, as Donny is not so good on grass.
It's more likely to fall over
because he's not the full ticket. He's a bit trippy, so I'd rather ride him in a menage environment, but you know, we can't be picky at these big shows. So definitely schooling with another horse, even if you hack to build up the horse's body, but you're hacking with someone else, that could be quite good. Go for a canter, let them go in front, make sure your horse can go front and behind, because that's another thing. When you go in the ring, you're not going to get to choose where you are. It all ends up a bit carnagey. So hacking with and without company. And then, I mean, jumping and pole work, I mean, it's all beneficial. It really depends on your horse's weaknesses, but we will go into that a little bit more towards the end. Right, we'll move on to affiliated. So the next class we've chosen is affiliated and county level, the show cobs. By a show cob, this is a hogged cob, which is divided into 3 sections: maxis, lightweights and heavyweights. The traditional cobs and the native cobs with manes, they go into a separate category. So say I have got a show cob. I'll actually insert a little footage of JJ, the lovely show cob I used to ride.
What weight was he?
He was a heavyweight.
Okay.
A coloured heavyweight.
If you're not sure, you can ask.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. So to get a show cob fit for an affiliated class, so the difference I'd say between unaffiliated and affiliated is firstly how long you go round for. Yeah. So much longer, isn't it?
So your horse has to be a bit fitter.
So with JJ, we did a lot of we rode around a stubble field, and I used to do laps because they need it's hard work, you know, keeping them going. It's sometimes as well, most county shows, the rings are way bigger than they are at unaffiliated shows.
Size of a football field, really.
Yeah, like the one at Norfolk show, the main marine, that was huge. And you go, it feels like you're going around for ages. So definitely fitness is what I'd add in. Whether that be just going on lots of long hacks. You could also add in like the aqua treadmills and stuff are really good like that for fitness, or hill work.
Even if you've got a horse walker.
And gallops. I think we tried to take JJ to a gallops once, but it got cancelled. If you've got somewhere where you could hire and take your horse.
You need to build it up though and gradually work on it and look at what shows you're thinking of entering and then plan from there. You can't just expect your horse to do all this in a matter of a few weeks.
No.
It takes time.
A lot of people do, you know, if you don't know, you do just think, oh, I've done an unaffiliated show, let's go to an affiliated show, and then usually it hits like a ton of bricks. It did us. I don't know whether you can remember when we had Charlie.
Yeah.
We did really well unaffiliated, and then when we went to unaffiliated, we were like affiliated even.
So out of our depth.
We were so out of our depth. We were like
we felt like, well,
embarrassed. Well, not embarrassed, but there was no guidance, was there? Like you just don't know.
There was no Facebook.
There wasn't any YouTube or Facebook or anything like that. It was just like turn up and find out what happens.
Learn while you're there.
Learn whilst you're there.
Everyone else.
So fitness, galloping, hacking, aquatherapy. I'd say fitness is definitely the main one that as soon as I think affiliated shows, I think I need to up the fitness, definitely. Obviously your schooling again. Schooling always comes in both in a field and in a menage. And the difference when we get these horse classes, which by horses we've got riding horses, hacks, hunters, cobs, is you're going to have a ride judge. So that's something that I also didn't prepare for when we had our little cob Charlie.
What did the judge say when he got off?
He's ran out of batteries.
He had,
and that was the first time we'd ever put a ride judge on him. I'd never had any men ride him or anything, because as well, a lot of ride judges are men.
Yes.
Most of them are gentlemen.
They are in those sort of classes, aren't they?
They are. And he'd only had like children ride him, because at the time I was about 16, 17. This bloke rode him, and he was
very complimentary.
He was, I mean, he got him to go, but it was painful to watch, weren't it? Like, they need to, I think, from experience, these classes, for me, are the hardest classes, because it's so easy to hide 100 things when you haven't got a ride judge on. But when you get that ride judge on, you can't hide anything. They've got to go, they've got to be light in the contact, they've got to be light off the leg, they've got to be mannerly. And remember, they've gone round and round and round and round, then they've stood there and gone to sleep, and then the ride judge gets on and it's like, off you go again. And then a lot of horses go,
yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Donovan.
So definitely, this is something I've started to add into my training at the minute, is get someone new on your horse once a week. Whether, like, Finley's actually probably better to have someone on a hack than he is in the school. So, but Donny, I've just started to introduce new riders in the school every week, even though I haven't got any men to hand, unfortunately.
No,
but I have got Dominic, who's very tall, riding him, and Holly, who's very short, riding him once a week, and we're just taking our time with it. So introducing to other riders. Intro to new riders. You won't ride him though, will you, Mum?
Nope.
Why?
I'm not. Don't go there.
A bit nervous.
I'm not.
Nervous.
I just can't Too
old,
too painful on
yeah.
the hip joints.
So definitely, if you're doing an affiliated show, get some riders on in advance, because even if you think, oh, they'll be all right, I thought that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, they'll be all right. Practice. And also at county shows, you will be stripping the tack off.
Yep. So you need a helper.
Yeah, you need to make sure you have a groom, and the groom is wearing the right thing. But I have got lots of vlogs on what to wear and things like that, so we won't go into it. But you'll be stripping. They call it stripping, but you're close, stay on, guys. So stripping is taking the horse's tack off, which basically the ride judge rides.
Not the bridle.
Not the bridle. That's carnage. I wouldn't recommend taking the horse's saddle off after it's been ridden, and doing a trot up. So you also need to make sure that your horse will trot up, because there's no good having a fantastic ride and then your horse won't trot and you dragging it around. So literally with Donny, I used to ride him, and then like for the cool down, I used to walk him round in hand to cool down, and then I'd practice making him stand, trotting him up. Fun fact, when I brought Donny, he would not trot up, like he had no clue. So I had to lunge him, get him going, because he understood when you had him on the lunge to go forward, and then I had to get Lewis, my husband, to walk with him on the outside, and then I sort of be in there with a schooling whip to go, come on, and we got him going like that. So Lewis was actually, my husband was the first one to trot Donny up rather than me, but he still hasn't got to an in-hand show to this day, and I don't think it's going to happen because Donny's not his favourite. Not his favourite. So in-hand practice. And again, you could do that if you don't have facilities. You can practice in hand anywhere, can't you?
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of other things we do with Donny. There are other things I do with him which are more related to the way he looks, which we'll go into in a minute. Like your long reining, using pursuers. Some people like to use pursuers. The way you train them as well to help them build up, which we'll look into next. So the next one we've chosen is working hunter at, well, we've put affiliated level, but I think we can kind of do it so it applies to everything. We used to do working hunter at affiliated level a long time ago. Let's get the violin. But I'm too rubbish now. With Finley, basically, we used to do horse qualifiers and stuff with him, but it wasn't very consistent. Again, we were very amateurish at the time, and we let us, now when you look back you think, why didn't we go get some help, or like ask people or get some, you just think. So working hunter, obviously we'll start with the obvious one, which is poles and jumps and schooling, because again, working hunter is actually probably the most difficult in regards to elements, because you have the jumping element, the flat work element, the in-hand element, and the ride judge element if you're in a big horse class. Obviously there's a lot, that's a lot to think about. So, but unaffiliated guys, you probably won't have a ride judge. It'd only be if you're in like the 158 hunter. Yeah.
All the M&M classes, no, the smaller breeds, they don't.
It's only horse classes that have ride judges. So poles and jumps, schooling, hacking, of course, for building up. Your horse needs to be super fit to do the jumping, the show, and the in-hand without looking like a beach donkey at the end of the three bits and bobs. Another thing, so I definitely try and do something with water, because how many working hunters now have a water where you have to ride through? Can you remember that one at Essex?
Yes.
Or the
Big
Essex
Splash.
Polo Club.
Big
They have a splash. So I definitely say, whether you can, do you have a stream you can ride through? That's free. Like we have a stream you can ride through in the village.
You can't really jump through it.
No, but you just getting your horse so it will walk and trot through water. Go to your cross country
puddles.
Puddles are free. Stream, puddles, and the ocean if you've got the ocean on your doorstep. And cross country courses, because you've got the jumping element there, the hills, the water elements. We used to build some crazy stuff at home, bush villas and dog leg weird, make them jump weird stuff. But yeah, definitely cross country.
Homemade jumps.
Yeah, cross country, or if you've got something at home like a little paddock, you can make some random jumps out of tarps, rugs, straw bales, shavings,
bushes,
anything. Yeah, so homemade jumps as well. Obviously, I will add that lessons is probably in there for every discipline. And a lot of people say, oh, there's no showing instructors near me. It really doesn't matter. Like, if you're aiming to do working hunter, a show jumper will be able to help you, or an eventer will be able to help you, because all the elements that are in dressage, show jumping and cross country, they're in showing as well. Your flat work, your show jumping, the boldness they've got to have.
You don't have to have a specific type
No, so
of
many
trainer.
people think you do. I mean, it can help you, but there's no reason.
The basics are all
like,
the same, aren't they?
When I did work, well, Justine helped me with working hunter. She's an eventer. I mean, you know, she's been around Burley. She can help me go round a 80 centimetre working hunter course.
I think she can.
Yeah. Yeah, so with working hunter, again, you've got to practice your in-hand, which could be in-hand groundwork or practicing your trot up. Your ride judge practice if you think you're going to have a ride judge, if you've got a horse. Yeah. Making your horse bomb proof at those scary fences, because they're scary. So hacking, and also just hacking in general on roads with traffic helps, because when you go through the lorry car park or some of the rings, you've got bloody cows next.
Swear.
Bloody
What about that lorry that scared that horse?
Yeah,
when we went
yeah,
to
we
the
were at
Rutland
Rutland show, and a lorry come past, scared a horse before it was just.
Going
She was going to the
work.
work. Yeah, scared a horse. And also, like Lincolnshire show, we were next to the cattle.
Yeah.
So if you are lucky enough to live in Norfolk like we do, go ride around the pig farms and the cattle fields. That's what we do. Your horses do. If you're doing affiliated county shows, remember there's going to be ducks, dogs, children jumping out of trees. We've had that as well. Picnic blankets. We've had this. Someone go shake the picnic blanket as you go past.
Bright yellow one.
So making sure your horse is ready, I think, for all those different things. Because I remember someone I was at a young age, someone flicked a picnic blanket at me. Horse got spooked, and then I was like on edge for the whole test. It all went wrong after that. So definitely thinking ahead of these sort of things. So the last element I want to talk about is feedback and improving, because a lot of the judges will just hand you a rosette, especially at the affiliated and county shows. Working hunter, you should get a mark sheet which you can look back on from the society you've competed under. You can usually find it on the show website or somewhere like that. But it took us a while. Like when I was showing, there wasn't social media, there wasn't anything like that. So we really learned as we went along, and we used to just ask. There's nothing wrong with, say you come, I don't know, somewhere in the bottom end of the class, go find the winner or the person that comes second, and just approach them and say, hi, oh, congratulations. Do you think you could give me any tips or advice? I really liked your show, or whatever, and learn from the other people around you. We used to just ask anyone really who we thought we liked the look of. They look nice, they did well. You can talk to people and ask people what their honest opinion is. You might not like it, but you know, even if it's something little, they could say, did you know you had your spurs on the wrong way around, or did you know you had anything,
or your tail is not short enough,
or your tail's not short. Yeah, there's so like
turnout.
We have learned so much from Teresa in the last year, because she's been on the hoist circuit for many years, and she'll say, you know, the plats aren't right, or your quarter marks aren't there, or anything. There's so many little tips and things that can help you. Like I said, at affiliated level, the judges don't really help you that much. Sometimes videoing helps a lot.
Yes,
because you can look back at your show, and also if there's no one there to video for you, go look at the photographer's photos and look what your horse looks like, and be honest with yourself. Look at the winner, look at your horse, and say, right, what's different? Do you know what I mean? Like when I look at Donny, he usually has, well, he's got a big peachy bum, but his front doesn't match. And obviously he's a baby, so sometimes he's a bit lanky as well. So it's looking at improving his front end mostly, and making him work more from behind because he doesn't use his peachy bum. As Finley has quite a nice front, but he doesn't have, because he's a little bit narrow behind, he doesn't have that big peachy bum, does it?
No.
So there's things like I look at and think, you know, Donny needs more front or more this, and I'll work my training program around that. So at the minute, Donny doesn't engage his back end very much, so we're working very hard doing pole work. We're lunging him with 2 lines to try and encourage him to use his back end more. We're doing things specifically to benefit him, but you do have to sometimes just look and look. Do you know what I mean? And say, honestly, look, if you are unsure, look at a winner, or type in on, you've got YouTube, you've got Facebook, do a bit of Facebook stalking, you've got all these different places where you can type in
Lots of the show teams have a Facebook
yeah, like
page.
BSHA, they'll put a list of all the horses that have qualified, and you can look at that horse that's qualified for the section you want to qualify for and go, okay, how does that differ to my horse? Spud.
Thanks, Spud.
Thanks, Bud. Yeah, so a lot of the time now you can use social media to help you so much. And also I have a Horse and Country TV subscription, so I can watch back Equifest, BSHA champs. I can look at the classes and look how different those horses are, their way of going, their muscular structure, and I can build that around my show plan, if that makes sense. Another way that you can also get some help is, you've got all these professionals out there. There must be a rider that you aspire to. I think
What was yours?
I love Katie Jerram, but I also, after watching Jane Ross at Royal Windsor in the Novice Hunters this year, she rides beautifully, Jane Ross. She's so sympathetic but classy and elegant. I also love Holly King, who rides some of Teresa's horses. Again, she's so classy. Do you know what I mean?
About men.
Men.
They do ride different.
I like Ollie Hood because obviously we've met him quite a few times.
Oh, I think
Who do you like?
his dad.
His dad, Alistair, was awesome. We did have a lesson with Alistair.
Yeah.
But there is absolutely nothing stopping you. You might feel like a fool, but you'll only get a yes or, if they don't want to answer, they won't answer. But I'm sure a long time ago I messaged Katie Jerram and I said, here's a photo, please can you help me? They're professionals. I'm sure most professionals are happy to help. I know, like in the M&M world, you've got people like Katie Marriott Payne. Yeah. You've got Katie Green in the Work and Hunter world, haven't you? There's so many different people. All these professionals, they all pop up on socials, a lot of them. If you do enough scrolling or you look them down, message them and just say, can you help me? Because a lot of them will be more than happy to help.
Including yourself.
Yeah, well, I'm an amateur, but if anyone does have any questions, I do get questions. People message me and say, here's a picture, what do you think I should do? It's not always easy with horses that are not typey, but like Finley, he's not typey.
That's why you did workers, really.
Yeah.
Because you knew that he
wasn't good enough as a
flat work. I'm
not delusional. He's not going to be a Hoy's grade 1. He's not typey enough to be just a Connemara. So yeah, we did like riding club horse.
Yeah.
And then we just managed to scrape into London as a riding horse because he's so well schooled, so good at the in-hand. Well, I say he was very good on the day he came 5th at London International. His show, we cracked the show, the position, my riding, everything was spot on. So even though his conformation let him down, everything else was up here. And that's another thing that, like, if you go on, you can look in a book or socials again, look at the rider's position, look at their hands, look at their leg length, look at how their frame, because usually that is another big indicator of, you look at them and you think, wow, they look so professional. I look like a lumpy potato on the top, basically. And I'll be riding around going, ooh.
with your hands pulling in your pants.
Hands in my pants going, yeah, like this.
Not with a broken.
Oh, hello.
With a broken yellow.
Spud was worried about me.
face.
Spud was worried about me, and you know, and it wasn't until Teresa was like, why are your hands like that? Why are you sitting? She said to me, your stirrups are like jumping length. Your stirrups need to be a nice length. If you're, you know, like, not, I wouldn't say not all the way to dressage length, but they need to be a nice, it's such a better picture. I hate to see when people have their knees bent over the knee roll and they're doing lots of little up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
They're pushing the horse out of its natural stride, which doesn't always look good either.
No.
Just to try and keep up with the other horse in front or something.
Yeah, it's all about
a little bit of ring craft. Goes a long way.
Yeah. And again, if you need the feedback, I mean, you can study your own videos and have a look and honestly say, was that transition smooth? Did he jump into it? Where's his head carriage at? Could you improve the head carriage?
Where's your hands
Where's your hands at? Where's your stirrup length at? Do you think your horse needs more back end? Do you think your plats are good enough? Like, I am my harshest critic, except Teresa. Maybe Teresa's my harshest critic.
Yeah. If you think Pammy Hutton's nice, you haven't met Teresa.
No. So, yeah, there's just so much you can learn from the professionals, watching them, or, like I said, you can look back at your own footage or get help. And even I could show Justine me riding around and she would say, oh, he's not engaged. You know, any instructor could say, he's not engaged behind, that transition was rubbish, you know. So yeah, definitely getting the help you need is out there. Yeah, you've just got to look for it. I mean, even like I said, we used to, back before there was no social media, just saying, excuse me.
Yeah, you have to be a bit sort of cheeky sometimes.
Yeah.
And that comes really as well from you being all doing your vlogging and stuff. It's made you more confident. Going, walking up to people and say hi. And that's took a lot of guts to do because it's not everyone can do it. And
no.
Especially teenagers do find quite awkward sometimes. That they've either got the gab or they hide, don't they? So
yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, to just, well, you do. I used to say, Mum, will you go help? Will you go ask them where they got their whatever from, or how I can improve, you know? Or sometimes, like the mums on the outside, they chat to each other. Yeah. They hear things. So yeah, definitely. Just there's always something to improve on. Even the professionals, I'm sure they watch it back and think, oh, you probably think, oh my God, that was amazing, and they look back and think, oh no. You know, it's always,
it's not all about having loads and loads of money in your pocket, because a lot of these things that you're saying, schooling, pole work and stuff, they don't cost anything. Some of them. And yes, the shows are expensive, and you don't want to spend, you know, £50 and all your fuel and stuff like that, and be disappointed at the end of the day.
Exactly, because I mean, we've been there and done it. We used to go and enter things, and then get there and think we're out of our depth.
Yeah,
and you want to go into it and think, I can win this.
I like to go, I don't want to embarrass myself.
Or even, you know, you perform and you think, I'm really chuffed with that. Even if, you know, you didn't get placed or whatever.
Like that lovely veteran class you did at the Royal Norfolk. Finley went absolutely beautiful.
The veterans, that's the Veteran Horse Society.
Yeah. And you couldn't have, you said, oh, his show
he couldn't have gone any better.
And that's all you want.
I mean, yeah, he didn't win it, but he went beautifully. So hopefully that has inspired you guys to make yourself a little training plan.
A calendar of events.
Yeah, have a calendar of events where all your shows are, because I already know when my first show of the season is, but I'm not going to tell you guys because it's a surprise. Well, it's a surprise to me too.
It'll be a surprise if you do it.
It'll be a surprise because obviously I've got a baby to push out yet. But I definitely would recommend, I have these little whiteboards everywhere, they're like £5 off Amazon. Put Monday to Friday, whatever days you can spare any time, even if you've only got 20 minutes after work to do something, you could put a head collar on and trot them up your field a couple of times before you feed them. And put, you know, practicing schooling, practicing ride judge, practicing water, practicing, you know, put a plan together, because it's so easy to just go, oh yeah, I'm going to go into school today, and then you just ride with zero purpose. You just ride round and round doing the same old thing. So definitely put a plan in action. Like I always try and put either a pole work exercise out, a jump exercise, or I put on my board what we are doing today and work on the things that need to be worked on rather than just doing what's easy. So yeah, I think we've covered it, haven't we?
Yep. All done.
I just can't wait to crack on now. Look at the sun shining and I just want to go to shows. But I'm not going to go out until you're ready. Don't go out until you're ready. And if this is your first season showing, definitely go to your local riding club and go to watch a show first. Do your research and get everything sorted.
Plan yourself.
Plan is key. Even like
you won't enjoy it if everything's rushed and everything goes. It's a horrible feeling. You don't enjoy it. You come away disappointed.
And I would say if you are aiming for unaffiliated, don't go and think I've got to enter this and this. Just go and do one class. School for an hour if you need to. Make sure your horse is perfect before going into the ring, and go smash one class rather than entering hundreds and doing them half-heartedly.
Yep.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this very chatty show horse plan training video.
Hopefully we've given some people some inspiration.
Hopefully this will save people going into the ring being unprepared and embarrassed like we were. Well, when I was like 16, 17 and way out of my depth. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.